Hi guys, welcome to my live here on Friday night. I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera in a tripod, so if we're moving around, that is why. Okay, I know you can see my chin. It's not very attractive. Okay, so let me move some things out of the way here. Let's get this all situated correctly, and then we should be good to go. Let's see. There we go. I think we're good. I've got you kind of propped up on my ruler here, so it's not staying very well. But I promise you we'll get it fixed. I think we're good. As you guys continue to move down the slope. Oh my gosh. I'm really terrible at this live stuff. Anyway, so welcome to my live Q&A quilting and crafting segment. I do apologize for the technical difficulties that I'm having right at the moment. I'm not really sure what is going on here, but something is. Anyway, I wanted to do a live, good gravy. I'm sorry, you guys. I've got to push this through. This is going to drive me crazy. Jeez. Success! All right. So anyway, I'm going to do a live Q&A with about quilting and crafting. So if you have questions, feel free to ask them. I am not sure where my feed is here. I can't really see any questions, so if you're asking me questions, I don't see them yet. Hang on, I did something weird. Hi Rose. Okay, I can see them now. I can see your questions. Thank you. So it's the end of the week. Thank the Lord. It has been a crazy week. Let's see, Monday I bought my car. It's new to me. It was a leased car that I got 3 years ago, and my lease was up, and so I wanted to purchase it because I love my car. But what had happened, hi Penny. Awesome, I'm so glad I was able to help you get that. Hi Rebecca. And so we went to the dealership back in December to just look around and see if I wanted to lease. Nope. Hi Rainy, I see you. So I wanted to lease a car, another car. Anyway, my payments would jump up $200, and I was like, I'm not doing that. I don't know, not wasting money when I have a perfectly great car already. My hair's a mess. Anyway, hi Beverly. So anyway, long story short, Monday. Hi Jackie. We go to, my husband calls hi Penny, calls the corporate office because we want to buy out the lease. And they inform him that they no longer own the lease. And he's like, what? And they said, yeah, hi Soy. They, what they did, the dealership, when we went to look at new cars, was they grounded my car and they bought it and put it into their inventory. Only I still had the car. So anyway, it was a long story short. I was really mad, and I ended up going to the dealership and I let them have it. And then I went to my credit union and I got a check and I took it back and I bought my car. So I own my car. Yay me. Oh my gosh, what a headache that was. I cannot even begin to tell you how mad I was about that. So anyway, Penny, any advice for new quilters? Yes, I do have some advice for new quilters. Don't be so hard on yourself. Just don't. It takes a long time and a lot of practice to get really good at quilting. I'm still not. I still am learning something. Every time I make a new quilt, I learn something, and by no means am I a professional quilter. Hi, Yvette. And so anyway, that would be the best advice that I can give you. I know I see, like in some of the Facebook groups that I'm in. Hi, Debbie. Yes, and YouTube is your friend. I see a lot of people in a lot of groups that I'm in where, specifically like for my sewing machine that I have, where they think that because they have a quilting machine that the machine is going to do everything for them. And that is not how this works. It takes a really, really long time to learn how to free motion quilt. Nobody's free motion quilting is perfect the first time they do it. And if they tell you that it is, they're a liar. Unless they're really, really, really good at drawing, because that's basically what it is. When you're free motion quilting, you are drawing with your needle and thread on your fabric. So if you're really good at that and you have a really good steady hand and you can get the speed of everything going, in that case, okay, maybe, but that would be like probably one in, I don't know, a million people. I don't know. But it, you know, it can be frustrating. And I know that cutting is really hard to do too. It's hard to get things cut. I don't want to say perfectly, but you know, pretty perfect. And it just comes with a lot of practice. You know, it just comes with a lot of practice. So, it depends on the project. Sometimes I use quilting gloves and sometimes I don't. It depends on my mood. I will tell you, this is how I do my free motion quilting. So I typically, when I start going, hope you all can see me okay. My phone is still doing that weird thing where it's going crazy. I am an 80s girl through and through. Okay, that's one thing you need to know about me. If I could have my hair clear out to here, I still would. Oh, that's so awesome, Peggy. I'm so glad it turned out great. Hi, Lisa. I love Hawaii. I want to retire there. I put on some 80s music. I'm almost ashamed to tell you this, but like Hall & Oates and who else? Christopher Cross, and you know, all the 80s hair bands and all that Duran Duran, all that kind of stuff. I put that on and I sit down and I put my quilting gloves on and I get my machine set up. Hi, Cheryl. And I just get going and I let the music, I kind of do the beat of the music along when I do my free motion quilting. It helps me to keep my mind clear and focused on what I'm doing. Plus the beat helps me move along, you know, faster, slower, faster, slower. So, but I do, that's how I do free motion quilting. Everybody, hi, Deborah. Everybody has their own style and you have to find yours. So the other question that I do get asked a lot is about sewing machines. Do you have to have a fancy sewing machine to free motion quilt or to make a quilt? And the answer to that is no, you do not. For many years, and I even have it linked down below in the description box, I have an Amazon store now, you guys. So if you are curious about some of the stuff that I use in my videos, I have them all in one place now. So if you click on that, it will show you all of the products that I recommend. Now, if you do buy from those links, I will make a small commission off of that. And that money goes to help make improvements in the craft room, and then also so I can bring you some tutorials. I have to give you that disclaimer that I will make some money off of that. But I have a sewing machine that I actually purchased off of Amazon. It's a Singer Quantum Stylus 9960 is the machine. And I used that machine for a really long time. Before that, I used a Singer Confidence Quilter. I never owned a fancy machine until not last year, but the year before that, when my husband bought it for me for Christmas. Prior to that, I used a regular domestic sewing machine to make all of my quilts. The biggest quilt that I've ever quilted on one of those was a queen size. I do not recommend doing anything bigger than that on a domestic machine because it is a headache. It's very difficult to do. Even if you're doing the quilt as you go method, it is still hard to do on a regular machine because you get all of those, you just get so much of that bulk from the quilt in that throat area, and you want to have a larger throat area. But you can make quilts on a regular domestic sewing machine. The nice thing about the Quantum Stylist and then also the Confidence Quilter is that it came with the quilting foot. That was the only difference, you guys. And so, I mean, I've seen people take the feet off of their machine and just use the needle to free motion quilt. I have not done that, so I can't tell you what that experience is like. All I can tell you is that. So, if you guys are asking me questions, I'm not seeing them. I'm so sorry. But yeah, that's, you know, that's really it. The other question that I've been getting asked a lot is about cutting. How do you cut straight, or cut your squares straight? And this was actually a question that popped up several times after I did the block of the month tutorial. And I had hoped to have another tutorial for you guys today too, but like I said, my week has been a little bit nutty. So anyway, how you do it. I line my fabric up on my cutting mat. If you're using a stencil, do you use a walking foot? You can. I'll be honest, I don't typically use stencils. I have tried. They're not really my thing. But yes, you could use a walking foot if you were using a stencil. I think if it was straight. If you're using something that's curved or a design, probably not. But I don't know, because I don't normally do that, and I'm really sorry that I don't have a good answer for you on that one. So when you're cutting, you want to line up your bottom of your fabric along the lines of your cutting mat, and then you're going to use the side lines and a ruler to measure out how you're going to cut. And that is the only thing I can tell you without showing you. And I do have videos on how to do that, on how to cut perfectly. So it takes practice. That's all I can say, is it takes lots and lots and lots of practice. Just like everything, right? Trying to think, what else do I do? Oh, the batting. I get asked about batting too. So my batting is right here. It's on a roll. I buy the big rolls of batting when they go on sale. That one I bought 2 of them when they went on sale at Joann's. This was probably 2 or 3 years ago. That's the Pellon brand, and it is 90 by 25, I want to say. I think, if I remember right. It's worked great for what I use it for. So far, I prefer Warm and Natural. What's the other one that I used to get at the quilt store? Dream Cotton. That one's my favorite. Dream Cotton is my very, very favorite, but that stuff is a little on the pricey side. Hi, Teresa. And so yeah. So that's the batting that I use. Thread. I really, really like Mettler thread. And I use Gutermann thread too from Joann's. I basically use whatever I can get my hands on, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I have preferences of things that I like for different things, you know. And so I know people often ask about piecing. What kind of thread do I use for piecing? I know I'm probably going to get hated on here, but that's okay. I'll piece with my Mettler thread, and I'll quilt with it too. I've never had an issue with it. I never have. And so I don't worry about it. Hi, Candy. I just don't worry about things like that. Because because it works for me, you know. Did I tell you that that my house is a mess right now because we are having our master bathroom redone? So my brother-in-law he owns his own tile company, and so he came over and he has ripped out my shower, my bathtub, my floor. We have one bathroom for 3 people. I'm like, oh my gosh, they really need that to get done. I'm about ready to lose my mind. I feel like my whole life is just kind of in shambles and all over the place right now, just because there's so much going on. And then we are moving at our office. So my husband and I are moving into a little bigger office. Hi, Kathy. And so that's it's been a challenge. And this is probably my favorite part of this whole week. But my grandson is turning 3 on Monday. So he's having a birthday party on Sunday. And for those of you who don't know, I watch my grandson every Sunday. My husband and I do. We have him all day. And he is so much fun. Just love hanging out with him. I play all day, literally. That's what I do all day long. So I'm not on social media on Sundays, and I just hang out and enjoy the moment because, you know, they're only little for a short period of time. But our other grandbaby is due next month. So he's due, it's a boy. He's due on February 20th. That's supposed to be secret and I just blew it. But yes, he will be born on February 20th and I'm super excited. I know they do candy. It's so sad how quickly they grow up. So yeah, so I'm really excited, but I'll show you what I've been working on because, well, of course I got asked to do this. So this is his birthday shirt that I made for him. Isn't that cute? He's having a Mickey Mouse party. So that's his birthday shirt. And then I made this cute little sign for him. Now I made all of this with my Cricut machine. I mean, it's pretty awesome stuff. So they have the cartridge. Yeah. So they have the cartridges that you can buy, and so I bought that. And then here's his hands pointing to where the party is. And then for the ketchup and mustard. Thank you. You know, it's so funny. My daughter found all this on Pinterest. She wanted me to make this off of Pinterest. So I did. So then I got carried away. And I made the little house, the Disney's, what is it, Mickey's Playhouse, fun, whatever. I haven't had kids in so many years. I don't even know what half this stuff is anymore. I made the cool car. He is going to have a hot dog bar. It's the hot diggity dog bar. Isn't that cute? I thought that was like the cutest I had seen. And then of course I had to make these little, I made these 2 little guys. Thank you. The Cricut Maker is awesome. Awesome, awesome. Open that up and start playing with it because you are going to love it. That's how I made all of this, was on that. I originally bought, okay, this is funny. So I never even knew what a Cricut was. Honestly, had no idea what it was. My daughter got married 2 years ago, and I didn't want to spend $1,000 because I'm so cheap. I'm so cheap. I did not want to spend $1,000 on invitations. I just could not bring myself to pay that when I knew I could make something. So I looked around and all of a sudden, I don't know, I saw this ad, and I think it was probably on Facebook, and it was for a Cricut machine. Hi, Anita. And so I started looking into this, and I watched some YouTube videos, and I was like, oh, I need one of those. So I bought one. I bought the Cricut Explore Air 2, and then like a month later they released the Cricut Maker. and it cut fabric. So I was like, oh, I need that one instead. So I gave my old one to my daughter, my new old one, and then I got the Cricut Maker. And now I kind of wish I kept them both because she doesn't even use it. It's just not her thing. She just doesn't like to craft. So, yeah, so that's how I ended up with a Cricut machine. And you know what? I did make all of her invitations for her wedding, and I made all of her save the dates, and I made the dinner seating arrangement on a big glass frame thing with everybody's names on it, and I did that with vinyl, and the welcome signs, and I did almost everything with her wedding on my Cricut, and it turned out awesome. Yeah, I keep trying to get her to give it back, and she won't. She just won't do it. She's like, I might use it someday. I'm going to go over there and steal it. So what's going to happen? She's not even going to know what happened to it. So, and that's another thing I wanted to tell you guys. But first I have to brag about these two. Let me do this first. Then we'll move on. Check that out. Aren't those cute? These little tag cards for the food. Yes, Deborah, you can cut fabric with the Cricut Maker. Yep. You can, I haven't cut multiple layers. You can cut one layer at a time. I actually made a baby dress using my Cricut Maker. I cut the pattern out on my Cricut and then I sewed it. It turned out adorable. Yes, I made a Mickey Mouse one, and then I made one with just, that was pink with flowers. It was so cute. I should probably do a tutorial on that because I think you guys might really like it. I am a terrible, terrible garment maker. I started a quilt with it. I actually have it in a box. I just haven't finished sewing it, but I did cut all the pieces out with my Cricut Maker, and it was awesome. So, yeah. I should show you guys how to do that. I think I did like a tutorial showing you maybe when I was cutting it, but I never did finish it. It's another, hi Patty. It's another one of those UFO situations, you know, because I start so many things and never finish them. So I was going to tell you that I ordered, okay, let me back up. I'm getting ahead of myself here. I got to back up. So, as many of you know, my craft room is in my unfinished basement. Okay. And it's because this is the only space that I have in my house that's big enough to hold all the crap that I have. You know, I mean, this is 20 years of accumulation. So, it's followed me from house to house. Hi, Gloria. So anyway, so what I did was I was watching this young lady, and I do not remember her name, and I wish I did. But anyway, I was watching her the other day, and she was making like a replica of the original scrap box. I don't know about you, but when I saw that, I wanted it really, really bad. Those scrap box things are really cool. Okay. So I went online to look at those. And I did this like a couple years ago. Looked at them. Anyway, I knew I wasn't going to be getting one of those because, well, I don't have that kind of cash for that. So, didn't get that. So anyway, I was watching this girl, lady. I shouldn't call her a girl. She's a woman, but to me, she was a young woman. Okay. She made her own. And do you know what? It was fantastic. It was so cool. So do you know what? I'm going to do one myself. My husband and I ordered all the stuff yesterday. And it's very budget friendly. And I think you guys are going to like it. Because if you have a space that you want to have something like that in, you can have it. And you can have it for under $200. I mean, I know $200 is a lot of money, but when you're talking about a scrap box unit, that's like, if I did that, it would be $5 grand. Awesome. Thank you. I will look her up. I will actually link to her video down below. Okay. Hi, Brenda. So, yes, if I find her, I will do that. I will put the link to her video down below because it was amazing what she had done. So when all that stuff comes in, I am going to do a video, and you are going to see me and my husband putting all this stuff together, and you're going to watch me move some of this stuff out of this craft room. Yes, Gloria, it was really awesome, wasn't it? Oh my gosh. Oh, a scrap box is, okay, let me tell you what it is. Oh, they are so cool, but they are very pricey, very pricey. Like I said, I tried to custom do my own on their website, and it was like $5,800. I was like, well, that's never gonna happen. So anyway, so a scrap box, for those of you who don't know, is like it's a unit. It looks like an armoire. Okay, when it's closed, it looks like an armoire. And when it's open, it has all these drawers and shelves and all these different places for like your scrapbook paper, your Cricut machine, a sewing machine, all your scissors, all the things that you use to craft, you can put in here. Okay, it's really cool. And then if you have company over, you can just close it up and it looks like an armoire. And all your stuff is still in there and whatnot. So it makes it look nice and neat. And it's really easy and really accessible to use. And they have several different kinds that you can make. So, or that you can not make, but you can get. So they have them where the tables fold out. Yes, the dream box, yep. The table folds out and it will fold back in. And I want to let you know that Walmart has that table that you can hook in to the shelves, and you can get it for like $26. I'm just saying, now the table doesn't fold up, but it does hook in. So if you wanted to have a permanent little table that was attached to your box, you could do that. Now I'm not doing that because first of all, I don't have enough electricity to get over to where I'm putting mine, and that table is a little big for what I'm wanting to do. So, but I'm just letting you know there is a table for that. And I think she did, that young lady, I think she did put one on hers, and it looked really neat. So you can also get them, they have different variations. You can get them for like your scrapbooking stuff. You can get it for sewing. They even have one where you can have like double tables, where you can have one for like when you're sitting over here, you can have your like cutting station and your ironing station, and then over here you can have your sewing machine, and it drops down and it's a flat surface, and it's really cool. So, but for me, when I am quilting, I need a big space. So the sewing part of that is not for me. Maybe for storing fabric, but you can see I have my fabric all stored over here in an old entertainment center, you know, that I picked up at a garage sale. So I like to use things and repurpose them. I mean, I'm just not real picky about it. I know there are some beautiful quilting studios out there. And they are very appealing to me, but I really like to use the things that work for me, and I don't like to spend a ton of money on it. All my tables that are in my craft room, by the way, were picked up from thrift stores. I think one of them I paid $10 for, and one of them I paid like $5 for. So I use reused furniture. Like my son just got a new he just got a new bedroom set at Christmas time, and so I took his old dresser, and that's where I have my heat press, and I store all of my iron-on vinyl now in those drawers, and it works out great. I love it. Yes, Brenda, yes. I love that. That's a great idea. So, you know, you have to do what works for you, you know. Oh, Patty, will you have a good night? And you can always come back and finish watching if you want to. We'll still be here for a little while. I got my Sophie here, my dog. She's a black lab. She's giving me the eye. She wants a treat. Bye. So yeah. What silly? There she is. Say hi, Sophie. Say hi. You're such a good girl. She really wants my attention. She's getting a little silly, huh? Okay, get down. She helps me quilt down here, and she, yeah, she's always down here with me. And, oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah, she's kind of a, she's my girl. What can I say? She is definitely my dog. Definitely. And so she'll come down here with me, and you can probably hear her paws when she's down here walking on the floor, but she's always either laying right underneath my feet when I'm on the sewing machine, or she'll lay over underneath the ironing table. That's going to look really cool when he's finished with that. Really neat. You'll have to share pictures of it with us. If you're in my private Facebook group, yes. Okay, Candy, you have a good night. We'll see you later. You know what? I know it's late. I wish that the blacklist was on tonight, but it's not on yet, so yes. That's like one of my favorite shows. One of my other favorite shows is, I don't know, I got hooked on it. So somehow I got hooked or conned into getting this Apple TV stuff, and I love Apple TV. Hi, Tanya. Yes, okay. Okay. Definitely share your pictures. He thinks you're talking to him. Yeah, so I started watching this show called, I don't know, The Morning Show. Oh my gosh, that show is so good. But yeah, it's a long story short how I got suckered into that, but I do like it. And now it's, you know, I've watched all the seasons, and now Jacob's Ladder. That depends. What does the pattern look like with them wrong? I mean, do you like the pattern with them wrong, or are you pretty fixated on having the Jacob's Ladder pattern? See, I guess that's really what it boils down to is it going to drive you nuts when you look at it, or is it going to be okay? Because sometimes you can create your own cool pattern by making a huge mistake. You know, that's the beauty of quilting. Not everything has to be perfect. So, I mean, unless you're doing like the specific pattern, the Jacob's Ladder, but if you're okay with the way that it looks, then I would leave it, because it adds character to your quilt. But, you know, it's really up to you. That's kind of the beauty of quilting. My son is doing fine. Thank you for asking. I don't know if you guys know, my son, he lives with me. He is 26. And he will be, oh my gosh, he's going to be 27. Yes. He has, my son has cerebral palsy, and he is a little bit, he functions at a really high level, but he is a little mentally delayed too, and he is also hearing impaired. So, yes, he does still live with me and my husband, and he does from time to time come down in the craft room and help. Sometimes he'll help me video and things like that. Sometimes you'll probably hear him screaming and yelling at his TV in my videos. I tell him to keep it down, but sometimes he just gets a little over, you know, excited there. So yeah. And he'll come down here and he'll stand at the doorway and he'll look at me and he'll be like, are you recording? So yeah. But he is doing awesome, so thank you for asking. Let's see. Somebody asked me about squaring up blocks. Okay, so when you're squaring up blocks, it can be a little tricky. I have some videos on how to do that. It's really hard to explain it without showing you, especially because I am such a visual person myself. I have to see things. So let's take, for instance, I need to look at something. See, I'm visual. I'm going to look at something really quick. So if you're squaring up like, I don't know, so if you want to square something up to 6 inches and you have, hold on. You want to find your center seam. So however big your block is, okay, you want to find the center of your block, and then you want to measure over from that, and you want to measure out how much you want, what you want your block to be. So if I had a center here and I wanted to square up to 4-inch block, I hope I'm telling you this right because I'm not looking at it. You would measure 2 inches over from the center, and you would do that around the whole thing. Is that right? I bet you that's not right. That's not right. I am not going to be able to help you out with that right at the moment. Because I would need to be able to cut a block and measure it out. And I don't have that in front of me. I have a video on it, and I will try and link that down below to where I'm showing you how to measure it out so that you'll be able to square it up. I'm sorry, I feel like an idiot, but I can't right now. My brain is like, so, but I will. I'll find it and I'll link it down below. And then it'll show you how to square it up. It can be tricky. It's easy if it's just a simple block and you're just trying to, like, I mean, if you have like, if you want to do like 3 inches, 3.5 inches or whatever, and you have a ruler, you just move it over and you just cut and cut and cut and cut around the edges. But when you have an actual, this is where, so if you have an actual design, then you need to be careful, because if you start going around with your ruler and you're just cutting like that, say like you have a pinwheel, okay, and you go to square something up like that and you're not measuring from the center, you're going to throw off the pinwheel. I hope this makes sense to you. It's going to throw off the actual size of the pinwheel and how it appears. So so you got to be very, very careful. But if you're just doing one square, then it's fairly simple. Gosh, I can't even talk. I don't know what's wrong with me. So there's that. I'm sorry, I couldn't be more help with that. Not on the fly. Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Yes, they do. Yes, Angel, they do. They all do. They're all different. Everything is different. It depends on what you're using. You know, it just does. It just, everything changes, because some people use, I mean, like, I prefer to use just straight rulers. Some people prefer square rulers, and I don't. I actually, most of the time when I measure, I mean, if you guys have seen me use some of the square rulers, but like when I'm really quilting and I'm not thinking about anything and I'm not videoing and I'm not on camera, I'm using my long straight 6 by 24 ruler. That's how I do it. That's how I learned how to quilt, and that's what I find to be easiest. I have a ton of square ones here. I'll show you. You see all those? And the one that I use the most is the one that I just showed you. It's the 6 by 24. So yeah, it just depends. But I will find that video and I'll put it on here if I can. If YouTube will let me edit and put it in here, then I will. So there's that. So what is everybody else up to tonight? Are you guys going to do anything fun? Yep. That's so funny. We like the same one. It's just easier to use it, I find. But, you know, everybody has their preference of tools that they like to use. So I don't know. I know a lot of people have that. What is that thing called? That purple thing that they use to turn everything out. Not me. I use chopstick. I love chopstick. Oh, is there really a storm coming tonight, huh? We were supposed to get snow last night. It was like a light dusting here in Colorado, but we didn't get anything. But I will tell you this, it was cold. Oh, geez, Penny. Stay warm. Hey, that's a good time to stay in your house and quilt. Make something warm. But it is really cold here. It is stock show time. So every time the stock show comes to Colorado, we usually get really, really cold weather. And this year is no exception to that. It's like, this is like the coldest time of the year. So for a whole week, it's like freezing cold. And so nice. In the 60s. I'll trade ya. Actually, it wouldn't be too bad. It's that wind, you know, that wind gets going and it gets really, really cold. And so, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the wind, but I haven't met too many people who really are. So, yeah, I don't know. But I really wish we would get some more snow because I don't really want my state to burn up this year in the summertime, you know. That's, I think, what I hate the most is when we have a dry winter. Yay! Is when we have a dry winter, the summer, because it gets really hot here in Colorado. We don't have we don't have humid heat, which is what I like. I love humidity. I've been born and raised here, and I'm still trying to figure out sometimes why I still live here. If my grandkids weren't here, I think I probably would move to Hawaii. But anyway, it is a dry heat, like an oven heat, and I hate it, and it puts me in such a bad mood. But I love summer. You know, I should come to Texas. Actually, I have family that lives in Texas. My aunt and uncle and my cousins live down there. And I haven't been, well, I went to Dallas probably 5 years ago, but my family lives in Austin and in San Antonio and the Houston area. And I have not been there for a very long time. So I should visit. I really should. But I don't know. Hawaii is kind of my hangout. I love Mexico. My husband and I have vacationed down in Mexico quite a bit, but now I'm kind of a chicken, so I'm a little scared. But I do miss it because it's beautiful there. But I'm afraid to go. My husband's like, why are you so afraid? Well, hi, Isabella from Florida. Oh, my goodness. I love Florida, too. It's so beautiful down there. I need to be by the water, I think. Yeah, in Austin. Okay. Yeah, that's where one of my cousins lives in Austin and the other one lives in San Antonio, and then my two male cousins live in Houston. What are my plans for the month? Yes, Mexico is gorgeous. Plans for the month. Well, I am planning to get, yes, definitely. I'm planning to get those bookcases that I ordered from Walmart so that I can start getting my craft room in order because I want it to look a little better and have things a little more accessible to me when I'm using them. So that's a priority. Getting my bathroom finished so that I have more than one bathroom to use. That's another thing that I'm trying to do. I want to do, I've decided that I'm going to do with the 4-patch that I did. No, I have not. Um, I have not done craft fairs. I wanted to do, I talked about doing a table runner with the 4-patch, but I'm not going to do that. I am actually going to do something similar to that, but it'll be different. So it will be like just kind of like a center type of piece in the on your table. So it's not as long as a table runner. I don't know what it's called off the top of my head. I don't know. I go stupid sometimes when I'm talking. I'm so sorry. But and so that is what we're going to do with the 4-patch. I'm going to just show you how to do a different pattern with that, and then we'll make something with it, because then it's quick and it's easy. Yeah, it's quick and easy. And so there's that. And then what else am I doing? I'm going to get through the birthday party this Sunday, and then we're moving my office. And then my husband's birthday is this in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So we'll probably do something for that. And then we're almost into February already. Can you believe that? I mean, time is really going by fast. I can't even believe it. I'm just like, I don't know. So, yeah, so those are my plans, and I do need to sit down. I really need to sit down, and I need to plan out this year. Um, yeah. I need to plan out the year, and I need to get things done ahead of time, because once my daughter has the baby in February, I will probably be taking some time off. So I want to have things scheduled so that they can pop up, pop up, and you guys aren't sitting there going, "Where'd she go?" Yes, Tanya, it does. So there's that. I do need to get myself in order here and organized. And I'm usually pretty good about that. I use calendars a lot, and you know, but I don't know, something happened at Christmas time where I just kind of slacked off a little bit, and I think because I was pushing myself so hard that I kind of burned out a little bit, and then I did a bunch of baking, and I mean, I just felt like I was going like nonstop. And I had a complete freaking meltdown. I did, and my husband was like, "Okay, what is wrong with you?" And I just did. It's just like everything just hit me all at once. Um, so yeah. So this year I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to be a little kinder to myself. I'm not going to be as hard on myself as I have been. Um, I need to start exercising again. It's not easy. It is really hard. It is really, really hard. And that is the thing that my husband had to explain to me, like when I was having my meltdown, because I was treating the YouTubing part of everything, I was treating it like it was a business. And for me, this is not a business. It is for fun. This is what I do because I love it and I enjoy it, and I enjoy sharing with you guys. This is not how I make my living. And I mean, I, I guess it would be great if I could, but then, I don't know if it is so good, because then, when something that you love turns into work, it's not as fun anymore. And that was part of him telling me, you need to step back, you need to stop, you need to take a breather. And so that's what I've done. I mean, I was getting really caught up in a lot of stuff. And so, yeah. So this is something that I just love to do. I mean, I just love to get on camera. I love to talk. I love to show you guys how to make things. I like to learn because I learn, I learn too. And like I said, every time I make a new quilt, I am constantly learning something new. And I think that's true of just about everybody, because there's always something. Yes. Yes. You have to find an outlet. You have to find an outlet, you know, to de-stress. But I had started doing these things where I was like, I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna, yes, crocheting is very relaxing. I love to crochet too. Um, you know, I started doing like making a bunch of stuff. I was gonna sell all this stuff. I was getting really, really crazy about really selling stuff. And I didn't have enough time to get everything done. I mean, because you know how it is. It takes time to put things together. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I thought that I could like make 10 quilts in a day or something. I don't know. But I did. I just started getting really crazy about that. And so um yeah, I had to take a step back. Yes. When you're a one-man show, exactly. It takes time to cut, it takes time to sew, it takes time to do, you know, all kinds of stuff. And yes. Yep. Yep. It's an issue when you're doing it. And I think a lot of it too for me was that because I have this set up down here in my craft area, you know, I've got all this stuff down here. People do. They say that all the time. Now, I'm not talking about family members, but, you know, I do have friends who are like, you need to be making stuff and selling it. You need to sell that. And I can't, you know, it's like, no, it's what I love to do. It's my hobby. This is what I do to escape. I do these things and make these things for people that I love. And, you know, it's very special to me. I do some contract work and I don't mind doing that. I love to do it. Um, I'm really picky about what I take on. Um, because if I don't feel like I can deliver, I won't do it. Um, but yeah, you know, I do love doing it. I think another issue is that people, you know, they see things that you make and, you know, because you're talented and you're good at it, they want you to do it for them. And then when you give them a quote on how much it's going to cost, they're not so interested anymore. And, you know, and that's okay. And I tell people that. I'm like, you can probably buy it for cheaper than I can make it. And that really is the truth because, I mean, as you all know, fabric is very expensive. Thread is expensive. It takes time. You know, it's time, it's energy. No, I can't put your quilt together in 2 weeks. I need time, you know. Yes, it's very expensive. Yeah. Yep, that's right. It's very hard work. I had one friend who really wanted me to make her a quilt. And so I agreed to do it. And she got it. She understood, but she is a photographer. Okay. And so she did. She paid me to make her a king size bear paw quilt. Oh my God. I've talked about this quilt before. I was way in over my head on this one. It turned out absolutely gorgeous. But I'm going to tell you, she paid for everything. It ended up costing like $750 to have this quilt made because I couldn't quilt it. I had to pay to send it out to have it quilted after I was finished with it. But so I really didn't make anything. I did it for the experience and I did it because I really loved her. She's a great friend. But I told her, if you pay for all the materials and everything, I'll do it. So, but like I said, I was in way over my head. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea to calculate how much fabric I needed. None of it. It was scary. And so it took me 4 months to make the quilt. That was working on it every single day. And I was so incredibly blessed because we had a quilt store that was local here. And the ladies that were working there were very generous with their time, and they helped me a lot. They helped me figure out the fabric, how much I needed, the colors, and that quilt really taught me that I don't have a long arm. No. I would love to have a long arm, but I don't have one. I quilt all my own quilts by myself. It just, I mean, it was a crazy, crazy ordeal. I just couldn't believe I did that. But it turned out amazing. It was a great learning experience for me. So, but I've learned. I have learned. If I don't think I can deliver on it, I'm probably not going to do that. Oh, those t-shirt quilts are really cool. I've made one of those before. Those are nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, a long arm would be awesome. I've looked at them, but yes, I am very proud of it. I live in Thornton, Colorado. You're not going to mess up his shirts. Be confident. You can do this. You can do this, and we're all behind you. So if you have questions, you know where you can come to. You'll do fine. Just trust yourself. You'll do fine. You know. Somebody just asked me something and I forgot. Hang on. I can't remember. I have not done ruler quilting. I do have a ruler foot for my machine. And I have the templates, but I haven't done them yet. Too chicken to start. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know. Someday I'll have a long arm, but not today. I've looked at them. They're pretty pricey. The one that I looked at was at a quilt show. I think the guy quoted me like $20,000. I was like, okay, on to the next. So, I don't know, but yeah. So yeah, I live in a little suburb of Denver, and yeah, been here my whole life, born and raised, and my grandparents actually, well, not my grandparents, my grandma, my mom's mom, she was born and raised in the mountains here. So, yeah. Lots of generations here in Colorado. I love Colorado. It is so beautiful. It's, I don't know if I could ever leave it, you know? It's just, it's home. I don't know that I would ever be able to leave it. I think I could leave it during the winter months and go somewhere warm. Like when I say, you know, I'm going to pack up and move to Hawaii, I could totally do that. I could have a vacation home there and I would be fine. But that's right, their moms definitely do. Hi. Yes, moms definitely need to craft. They need a break. I wish that they had like a lot of this stuff when my kids were little, because I used to make all kinds of stuff for their classrooms and things like that. And YouTube plaque. I didn't get a YouTube plaque, but thank you. I think you're thinking of Just Get It Done Quilts. She just got a plaque. She just hit 100,000 subscribers. Did you know that? That is really quite an accomplishment. It is awesome, and she is awesome. I love her. I watch her all the time. She's great. But yeah, she did. She got a nice plaque for that. It's beautiful. I don't know what I'm rambling about, you guys. I'm rambling and rambling. Oh, I was going to show you something. Hang on. I might have shown you this before. Somebody asked me about ruler. Yes, I did hit 10,000. I did hit 10,000. So thank you. Yes. And let me tell you, I screamed and jumped up and down, and I was so excited when I hit 10,000. Do you know that when I started this, what was it, like less than 3 years ago? I mean, I started at 0, just like everybody else does. I really did. And I really didn't work it that much the first year that I had YouTube. I was just kind of just getting on here and just showing little things that I was doing. Oh, thank you so much. And so I was, you know, just showing how to do certain little things with the Cricut and sewing and crafting and whatnot. And then last year I decided that I was going to just really put into it. You know, I had like 1,000 subscribers at the beginning of last year, which is awesome. You know, I mean, I was like, oh yes. And so, yeah, so I made a conscious effort that I was going to post at least once a week. You know, I was going to interact more. I just, you know, just have fun with it. And then all of a sudden it just started going and going and going and going and going and growing. And I was like, oh my gosh. And, you know, honestly, I didn't even look at my analytics for probably a good 6 months because I just really wasn't paying attention. I was just posting videos, you know, and I was so excited. I have to tell you, I am really, really excited about this. This has been a really exciting adventure that I'm on, and I'm loving it. You know, I'm just loving it. I have fun with this, and I love interacting with you guys and talking to you guys, and I really wish I could do it more often. But you know, with just life and work and things like that, sometimes I just can't, you know, because I'm a person too. I get just bombarded as well. So you know, that's why a lot of my videos are just, you know, I'll film them and then I edit them and then I put them up. And I wish I could interact with you guys more on Facebook too, and Instagram and whatnot. But again, you know, when I get home from work, I have to cook dinner and I'm tired too. Yes, I did do the giveaway. I gave away the Go Me fabric cutter from the QUILTS, and I did have 2 winners. So I had an international winner and a winner here in the United States. And actually the lady who won, she lives in Florida and her name is Connie. And so she already got her QUILT Go. Yes, it is very hard to do with a full-time job. It really, really is. But it's, you know, it's fun. It's like a nice, this is a nice escape for me because I don't have to think about work or anything like that. So I really, really enjoy this. So I was going to show you guys. So somebody asked me about rulers. Ruler work. So this goes with my sewing machine because my sewing machine came with a ruler foot. So ruler quilting. I guess I shouldn't say that I have never done it. I did try it once. It didn't turn out right. It's like me and embroidery, okay? I love embroidery. I think it's beautiful. I don't know. I try to do embroidery and it doesn't turn out right. I'm like, I just don't know what my problem is. Like, I don't have the patience to sit there either and switch out all the time, you know? Yeah. And so I use it once in a while. I was very, very fortunate and very blessed that I have a good friend who actually gave me her embroidery machine because she wasn't using it. And I wanted one so bad. And so she gave me hers. And I do use it. And I do love it. Don't get me wrong. I do love it. But I see some of these women who get on there and they are just so good with embroidery. And I'm like, oh, my stuff didn't turn out like that. I tried to hoop a t-shirt. Are you serious, Roberta? That's too funny. So it makes me look like I'm nuts. With none of the comments matching up. Great. Yeah, so I hooped a t-shirt with my embroidery machine one time. I ended up throwing the t-shirt away because I didn't think about, you know, the back part. And so I sewed it all together. I mean, who does this crap? You know, just me. So anyway, I am a rambling hot mess today. So this is one of the rulers too. So you stick your ruler foot, you would pull this piece out, it's taped, and then you would go in here and you would go around your ruler with your ruler foot. It makes beautiful designs. I just, I told you, I'm a chicken. I'm a chicken to do it. Oh yes, somebody had asked me, do I have pictures of the bear paw quilt? Yes, I do. It is on my Pinterest page. And there is a Pinterest link down below in the description box. If you click on that, and I think if you go to Quilts or Crafty Author Quilts or something like that on Pinterest, you'll see it in there. It is really, really beautiful. Yeah. So there's another shape. See, I knew that would come back to me. They are very expensive. You are right. They are very expensive. There's that. They're too expensive for me to leave sitting in a bag. That's what I'm saying. So I probably should break these out and start using them. You know, maybe that would be a tutorial. You could see how inexperienced I am with ruler quilting. Yeah. So, I don't know. It is what it is. We all have our things, you know. And, nobody's perfect, so there's that too. I do want to also get one thing done, though, this year. And that is, yep, if that works, though, you know, that's all that matters is that it works. You don't have to have that fancy stuff, you know. Like I said before, I used regular domestic sewing machines before I got a fancy one, too. So, and, you know, it's really funny, but I still love my Singer machine. And actually, when I take this one in to get it serviced, I'm going to be sewing on the Singer machine again. So I will be doing tutorials on that machine. And, you know, it's okay. I have tutorials where I was using it before. You know, they're older ones, but you can see where I'm using that machine and it works great. It sews great. It's not as quiet as the machine that I have now. And it's, you know, I mean, yeah, there's a difference, but it's not like it, they sew fine. If it sews, that's what matters. That's what I tell people. If it works, that's what matters. That's it. If it gets the job done, that's it. So, but that's just kind of my personal opinion. I started that quilt before Christmas. Remember, I found that UFO quilt and then I put it all together. And yes, it is awesome, right, Angel? It's a great machine. And so, awesome. Yes, I do, Isabella. Yay! I need to finish this quilt so that I have a quilt to chill out with when I'm watching TV. It's still on my quilt wall. I haven't moved it. Oh my goodness. And then I need to do one. Yeah, that's right. Don't break it. That's right. I need to make a baby quilt for my new grandson. So I'm going to probably be a busy girl. And so you guys will be along for the ride. I'll be showing you everything that I'm doing. I don't know if I will be doing tutorials on like the baby quilt or whatnot. It depends on what I decide to do. It depends on if I'm up against the wall for time. Lots of things. Maybe I should just do it live and just let you guys watch me do it. All right, Tanya, you have a good night. Thank you for dropping in. It's good to talk to you. So actually, I probably should sign off too. I mean, we've been on here for a long time. So, and I will just keep rambling and talking and going on and on and on all night. So I probably should go and cook dinner. So you have a good night, Isabella. I will talk to you later. And everybody else who's watching, have a great evening, a wonderful weekend. And I will see you guys next week. I think on Tuesday for Sewing Talk Tuesday. Thank you, Penny. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. God bless.